Okay, um, we're going. Hey everyone, so we're going live to play against John. I have played many times against John. I find him very difficult to play, so I'm going to review live as I play and see if I can do better than next time than last time. So we are in Fisher time. I don't know well Fisher time. Okay, here 2 times the. So I'm trying, as you can see, to play high. I've played like that a lot in the past. One of the good points about playing high, it doesn't involve knowing all the AI stuff. It's a bit kind of a fresh approach to go. So I'm going to try to stay very high and be as put as much pressure as I can. So this move at O2 actually puts more pressure than the connection at O4. It makes it more difficult for black to tenuki, basically, because the life in the corner is more difficult to get. So it put much more pressure on the black group. The idea being to be able to take the sente and come to e4. But black will probably play f3 and or something like that. And then I will play s5 or s6 to put some pressure on the group. So Fischer time, if I understand well how it works, I'm not sure I know, is supposed to be, I think it's adding, I don't know if you can hear the sound. Do you hear any sound? Oh, maybe you don't hear, maybe now you hear the sound. Let me check on Twitch. So yeah, I think every time I play a move, it's adding some time. I think that's how Fischer works. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. So yeah, okay. So John is taking time to think. Yeah, I guess he's thinking if he wants to tenuki or answer in the corner. This move at O2 is here for that. The cut at O4 is possible, of course. Okay, so it takes time to consolidate the corner, which will give me time to play at E4 and draw the lines of a moyo on the bottom side, which was the whole plan. This being said, of course, there are some cutting points in white shape, so it's not like, for example, here I think O7 is mandatory for me. In theory, it's very big move. O7, it kind of protects the cut and it threatened to play S7. I didn't play it straight away because I want to play, of course, the left-hand side first in Sante and then play O7. But maybe black will just cut, and if black cuts, we get a fight. And if we get a fight, I'm happy. So, what else could black do? Okay, black goes for a pincer. Interesting. So I have 2 options. Either I jump in the corner and try to counter pincer, or I keep a high stance and play the move at f5, for example. Or I could be playing e2 just to split everyone. I am not sure here. Okay, let me play the diagonal move. It's kind of consistent with the high approach. It brings a lot of, I would say, potential ally for any group who would have to run to the center, and it keeps black separated, so no black is busy on both sides. So I think because he played a pincer, he will probably save g3 now. I don't think he will let g3 alone. But it's not easy to know what to do, because if he extends at k3, of course I have a very bad cut at o4 now. So I might have to add a move, but his group will still be under pressure. So basically here I'm just keeping him busy. If he doesn't answer on the left, the good moves would be c3 or c6. c6 can be big if I want to take the upper side, and that would work well with my d15 stone. So overall, I think the flow of stones is interesting. I must just be super careful about the cut at o4. And actually, black could cut straight away and see what happens. But until, I mean, I can always, push and sacrifice the stones. That would be a super big corner, but I mean, I'm in no rush to save these stones for now. So anyway, let's see, because here black has so many options. I think he might play k3 because it's the move that makes the maximum pressure on my right-hand side stones. And then we would be heading to a game with a lot of small groups, which was more or less my intention, so that's good. So when I play this kind of game with 4 or 5 points, the idea is to invite black to take a few corners, and then you have strength in the center, and you can usually trigger some fights quite easily, and we can see it starting straight away. Like, well, black chose to pincer because he didn't want to allow a big moyo on the bottom, and he wanted to keep an eye on the o4 cut. But now he's busy, and I could be busy too, but that's the whole point about this kind of fighting games. So I'm trying to keep, I would say, my time, because I don't like to spend too much time in the beginning. I usually act, yeah, so he played k3. So I guess I have to decide if I want to add a move now. He could cut, but if he cuts, he will lose Sante. So I think I will take the lead on the corner. Not sure if I should play c6 or c3. I kind of like c3. So the thing is, if black cuts now, I will sacrifice the 2 stones, because the 2 stones at the bottom for black will be under pressure, and my stones would not be dead completely. There is a bit of agi, so I don't think black can cut straight away. He might even lose Sante if he does that. So okay, so that's interesting. So my stone will be very stable now. What's the best way to capture this? Should I play b4 or should I? Yeah, b4 seems interesting. Again, trying to put a maximum of pressure on black. So black could play d3 and try the hane, but I could even play the c5 atterry, and that would lead to an interesting variations. Okay, he cuts. Okay, so I'm going to sacrifice, because I think it's a bit early to cut. So now the 2 stones are really under pressure. and I will work on them now. So I might actually play this and try to connect everybody together to avoid having any weak groups. So it won't kill the black stones, of course, but if I can, if he is forced to make some exchanges in the corner, then I could have a very strong left side. And it's not like my stones on the right have lost their potential. So I don't know if this is a good strategy, but yeah, it's okay. So I'm trying to keep everybody connected and to keep Sante at the same time. A move around S7 at some point could be interesting if I want to use the ag. So my shape is, of course, quite fragile, I would say. And black is probably trying to find some way to go through it. So the peep at M3 is Sante. So technically, black could play L4 and have a kind of tiger mouth. But maybe then I would play G3 and see what happens. So if I play G3 and black cuts, it doesn't work. So anyway, I don't know. Yeah, he plays it straight away. Okay. I could actually try L4 because then he would have to. If he capture, I could capture the right side. So I actually love that. So I'm gonna do that. I don't want to give him the tiger mouth, and I can sacrifice the 2 stones against a very strong bottom. Basically, every black stones would be in the bottom right corner. So I think my stones would be a bit more efficient, but I still had to sacrifice 4 stones, so that's a huge cost. Anyway, we'll see. It's a kind of difficult strategy. So if he connects, of course, yeah, so I will connect now. So I think I gain in this exchange because it's like if he had played L3 and... Okay, so he will, of course, try to break my shape. But I don't really mind. It's kind of course, he will be reinforced and very difficult to kill, but that's okay. My groups are all connected, so I don't know if he will try to maybe push at M4 and cut. That would be interesting. Not much choice here. So now he can push at M4, but I can also play L6 maybe and give up, or I could take immediately at M4 and see what happens. What is the best option? So we'll probably push at M4 now. Actually, I could draw back at L5. That's an ugly shape, but it seems... No, it's really an ugly shape. So if he connects, actually, what's the best way for me to connect? Yeah, probably just G6, J6 is okay, because then if he cuts, I can capture the cutting stone. So that's okay. So hopefully he will connect. If he doesn't, if he push at M4, I will probably take at H4. That's what I must calculate now. Then it's a kind of trade. He pushes at M5. I take the stone at J3. And then he pushes again. But I'm super solid, so I can go out, and he's not alive anymore. So, well, at least he's not really alive. So I think I would do that. So M4, H4, and if he plays H4, I play G6. So I think it's holding up. Yeah. Okay. Not sure what to think about all this. It's working fine. I'm connected. He's alive. I got some strength. I've got some bad agi in my shape too, but yeah, my stone at P4 still has a little bit of agi. Because of course, if at any point I can get Q6 out around Q8 or something like that, it threatens to get the stone out. So that would be interesting for me. So if I have to play a move there to wake up the agi, I wonder if I should play Q8. Or something else. But for now, I guess the very important part is the left-hand side. So he will probably play an extension around C10 or even C13 if he wants to be a bit more on the edge. Yeah, if he plays C10, I will be very happy to play C12 and put some pressure. Oh, wow. That looks super slow. So I was not expecting that. So is there a local move which is really annoying for me? I don't think so. So I'll definitely play there because it seems huge in terms of developing the potential on the left. So I think E2 was not needed because the group doesn't seem in immediate danger. Maybe I can play L1 and try to reduce the shape. Of course, F2 would have been Sante, and I guess Black didn't want me to take the corner in Sante, but that's painful to play. So yeah, I'm very happy to have C9 now. So the whole left-hand side is looking good. So of course, Black can do plenty of things because now that E2 is in play, the cutting point at G6 is a bit more annoying, for example. Not now, but that's something to target. And of course, Black can play plenty of move around D3, D4, C5. So it's not like these stones are dead. Okay, this move. Well, I don't have a choice, right? So he will play B5, yeah. So let me calculate this. Trying to see if I can cut at C5 now. It looks a bit suspicious, maybe. What are my options? If I play here, the funny part is I could again have a move against the side slightly in Sente, I would say. Yeah, I think I will just play safe. Yeah, I could connecting at b3 would be huge, so it's really tempting. The question is basically how fast would I die then? So I have 5 liberties. Okay, I really need to calculate that entirely to make sure I have the liberties. So let me check. I don't know what I'm thinking about. I can just cut at c5 afterwards. So it's not like there is anything. So if black cuts now, I cut at c5 and everything is fine. Okay, everything is not fine because I just realized black could sacrifice and then play. So everything is fine. Okay, that's really hard to calculate, so I need to focus again. Okay, I think it works. Maybe I have made a mistake in the calculation, but we'll see, basically. So he will push at e6, e7, so he has 2 liberties, then he cut. And if he cuts, I have 2 liberties. I push, I make Atari, and when I push, he's in Atari too, so that works. So I don't think he can do anything. So yeah, so if this works and if this is, so it's not completely captured, of course, he can always do d6 and then connect, and I'll have to protect my weakness at j6, g6, so I'll play something around f7, for example. But he will be under pressure. He will have a running group. I have nothing to lose because my group in the corner will be alive. So if this works as planned, that's cool. Now, maybe I misread something and he's reading now and finding the solution. So we'll see. So in terms of points, he has the bottom. I have a monkey jump. So it's 9 points basically. And he has a big corner. I have another monkey jump in this area. So let's say it's like 15 points. So he has around 24 points and the corner on the top, let's say for 8, 9 points. So he has 30 points, I would say. Okay, so he sacrifice and he will connect probably. Yeah. Okay, so he has a running group. So that's very interesting for me, of course. And depending on the move he will play, I will have a forcing move, which will be interesting. If he plays the hanging connection at d8, I have a super move at e7 that also protects my cut. That would be great. If he plays this one, I have a super move at d8, but maybe I have to wait to play it. And of course, the question, can I try to capture the whole thing? So let's play it. And of course, what I'm trying to see is if I can play f8, which would be great. It could be working, right? Let's try. Let's see. So he might be able to live locally because he can push, push, push and make a small eye at e6 instantly. And then he could play Atari at c8, Hane at b9, and leave Baiko at a8. So that would be a super big ko left, but I cannot play the ko really because I have my own group to keep alive, and probably he can even at any point play a7 and threaten to kill my group. So okay, so I would say that's interesting, but that gives me the whole outside anyway. So that would be perfect if he has to push everywhere, connect everywhere. That would be a great outcome. I think it would be a great outcome. Actually, I still have some weaknesses in my shape, so it's maybe not perfect, but yeah, overall, maybe actually I will myself prevent the ko by playing a6. That might be an option because I don't want to have this hanging on my own group at the bottom. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. So I will finish this in Sante, but I will have a lot of weaknesses in my shape, so I'll probably add a move to kind of consolidate the whole thing and build a big center. Not that I like building the center, but now it will be, I would say he will have robbed some of my points. So I will need to build some points, and it will also strengthen my shape. So I'll probably have to play a move, a strange move, maybe like f15 to build up the moyo. So I think he will play the sequence because I don't see an easy outcome for him otherwise. So I think he will push everywhere, e8, f7, e5, f6, make the eye, and then play b9 and d8. Well, all the forcing move, they are all required to make the two eyes. But he can leave. It's a very small area, but it's alive. And then, yeah, I really have a lot of cutting point after that, so I still have to be careful. Maybe I'll play something like G16, or I don't know, kind of nice move that, I don't know, it's not easy. Either I should stay very Honte and play G17, Or I should go for something a bit large and play a big move on the top, even J16 maybe, I don't know, something like that. Okay, so he's playing the sequence now. So I guess the only thing he can hesitate with is to cut at f9. And that would be a completely different sequence where he's trying to use the ag of b9 and try to go out on the left. But if it fails, he has to calculate perfectly, because if it fails, so he wants to do that. Okay. So he might cut now, straight away. So the interesting part is if he cuts and I connect later on at d9, he will have to decide between trying to capture my stone at b10, but then he could end up losing the group at the bottom. So, and right here, if he cuts, I could also just extend at b11. And I guess then he will threaten to cut at f9. The idea for him is to use all this ag, because if he pushes at f7 and I have to go back, then the situation is very complex. So overall it's a very complex situation anyway. Okay, let's try. So he wants f9, he wants to cut at c10. So what I'm saying is, if let's say I push his stone at c10 and I get what I need is the connection at d9 to work at some points in Sante, and he might try to capture the stone at b11, b10, and then I can play b8 and try to capture the group at the bottom, but there will be a ko again. So I don't know if he will have any threat. Okay, so he starts this way. That could be a crazy exchange. Okay, let's try. So if he plays Atari now at f9, I will capture at d10. Okay. So now I'm making the cut at f9 less effective. Okay, but I completely forget that he could play b11, so I'm playing too fast. Okay, well, never mind. I've messed up that. So he will play b11 now, that I completely missed. And I can still chase this group because this group still doesn't have two eyes. So actually, if he plays b11, I will probably play a10. so that he doesn't have an eye. And actually he would have close to 0 eye, except once again a move at a7 is sent against my group, which is really a pain. Oh, so he had the move, okay. Yeah, he had the move because he can. Okay, so now this is really getting confusing. So he could capture b11, of course. I could play the Atari at b8 and then cut. But then there is another cut for him and a shisho, which would work. Yeah, doesn't work because of the shisho. Let's see. So Atari, I go down. Okay, let's do it anyway. So I could have played a8, but I wanted really to minimize the number of liberties he has. And we're in Fisher time, so he has only 10 minutes left. So my idea is that if he triggers the Shisho sequence, I will not answer the Atari at f9, I will just go up at e11, because I have a few forcing moves in this area. But yeah, overall this sequence is not really great for me. Okay, so he's playing it. So I wonder if I should go up or, yeah, I could actually go this way. It's probably better. So now I will try to use this group I have on the bottom middle, and the group on the left is not completely alive for him because I can get my stone out at c12. So this stone at c12 is, this stone at c11 can still have some agi. Actually, quite a big one. If I go out, it's pretty quickly a problem for black. But it's immediately not alive, and he will have to struggle a bit now with his group. So, okay, so it turns out to be not too bad. Not the best sequence ever. I have a lot of weaknesses. My group at the bottom is not so strong. That's the main problem. Oh, really? I really have to review this thing. Hey, Steven. Things are very good. I'm happy to play. find it very difficult to win against John every time I play against him, so let's see how it goes. At least we got a nice fight. Well, I wanted some groups. I have some nice groups to attack. My group in the corner is not fully alive, which is a very good point. So here the Hante move is really to get the liberties, because any other shape move will have plenty of weaknesses and cause and stuff like that. So let's just play Hante. Now, let's say he play h8. Of course, the question is, can I do the Keima? And I have to read. Okay, so he's playing that first. We completely remove the Sente I, so that's a loss for him. He could play e5 and e6, f6 in Sente and have a Sente I, so that's not an option anymore. Okay, so this move is really an easy one to play. And now, what is the plan? So again, we have various options. The K9 stone, which would be the more aggressive one, I would say. But tempting, of course. So, can I play it? Or should I just play smooth? Wow, Go is a difficult game, really. Okay, let's try it. At least that won't be a long game. So, I guess one of us will die here. I am really unsure who. So he will push, 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 cut everywhere. And now the question is who has more liberties. So it seems to me with my nice shape around O2, it's difficult for him to approach. I can make an eye. So I feel good about that. But now the problem is there a Tesuji to cut my shape here? Like playing K5 and sacrificing or something like that. And let's remember I have 22 minutes and he has 7. So that will help for sure. But if I die, that won't help much. The thing is, he has really little liberties too, so He can make an Aigote on the left, but his whole group in the center now will have very few liberties, so I can kind of squeeze it. Okay, he's going for it. Let's do it, you know. It's pure mind game. Okay. No surprise here. I'm going for the hardest possible variations, which could be expected. Okay, let's see if I calculated well. I really think with my 3 liberties around O2 and the fact that he cannot really approach them all, I'm okay. Because I didn't see a way for him to break my shape in the center easily. So that gives me this kind of, he would have to approach the inside of this area anyway. So if we assume at some point none of us have liberties here, I will play the Atari at G9 and then we'll at least have a Seki. But I don't think he will have time to go for the Seki because he should have time to play before. And remember that whatever happens, if there is a Seki, for example, I can play C12, and suddenly this group has not twice. If we assume C12 and he pushes B12, B13, B14, I can play the honey at B15, and he has only 3, so he would have only 1 eye. So he would have to run again, which again would give me points on the top. So I'm not sure why there is an echo. Because, yeah, I didn't change. Oh, yeah, there is this here. Okay, maybe it's better now. I had the source, I had forgotten to deactivate. Okay, so he's calculating, he has 4 minutes left and it's Fisher time. So, well, I guess the Atari at K10 doesn't work because I have 1 liberties to escape with a move like F12. And the other Atari is, of course, the interesting one. So he will probably try something. He could try something very strange like L6 straight away. But I don't think that works. I can maybe even... Okay, he's playing the full sequence. Let's see. Maybe I miscalculated or maybe he miscalculated. It's not like there are many options. Okay. So I'll just play safe. I mean, he's gaining no liberties here. He has to... He will probably play K7 himself because that's the way to get more liberties, but I don't think he has enough liberties. because he first has to cut me. I'm not even talking that I might have some potential attack on the O7 stones, but that's an option too. But I don't think I need that. So now he has only one option, basically, it's to push and cut. He can do that in Sante for now. And then maybe play, or maybe does he want to play a ko? No, I don't think there is anything really. Yeah, no, I have too many liberties on the outside. And again, even if it's a Seki, I think I'm okay because let's say he cut at N8, I will play M9. But then if he doesn't come back, I can cut myself at O8 and then try to capture these two stones, and he doesn't have an obvious way to save them without putting his own stone in danger at the bottom. So he has really a lot of troubles here. Yeah, actually, I think I can capture these stones immediately, because if I do the Atari at 08, he plays N9, I extend my stone at M10, and I actually don't think he can save these stones. Oh yeah, he can, sorry, because I cannot do the Geta at P10. Oh, no, actually I can, okay. I think I can capture these stones. I can capture the cutting stones N8 later on. So anyway, he has 25 seconds left, which will be also a problem for him. Because now he has to calculate everything in. Okay, let me calculate that to the end to make sure I'm not making a mistake. Yeah, that's working. If it's not working, that means I'm really bad at calculation, which can be an option. No, that's dead. I think I didn't even need to play e5, but yeah, so I could even tenuki once, which is a good news. Okay, so if I try to go on with the right side, but honestly, I think this group is too big. And it's not like I have any edgy on the outside. He has only 2 liberties, so for me it's very handy. If I play that, he has 1 eye. If I play that, he has also 1 eye. But if I play that, he has 1 eye in Sente, in Gote. Yeah, so let's build the upper side. I mean, I have no pressure. He will have to jump. Okay. So he's not jumping. Yeah, so I'm playing rubbish now, but okay. He could cut, I think, but anyway. So not sure what he's trying to do now. He's probably trying to capture this group. I mean, he has to try something, but the thing is he has no AG on the top, so no AG in the center. So my central group has basically no weaknesses. So now I'm building up my center because this group in the middle is kind of dead, right? I don't see an easy way for it to leave. So I have really no pressure because I can capture this group at any point. If he play f4, I can play the one Atari, otherwise the other one. So I think I can capture this group now. I don't see an easy way for him to leave. So he could play b13. That would have been a Sente I instead of a Gote I, which would have been better, I guess. Or like cut first at c14. No, this eye is Gote, so I can I don't even have to prevent him from doing an eye. So again, can I play this Hane? So we will play this and then push, push, I block. Yeah, I guess I can. The fact that he has only 2 liberties in his central group is really painful because he cannot really exploit any of the Ataris or stuff there. So he would like to wake up. If he had not played the whole sequence, it might have been a bit more tricky because this group would have had 4 or 5 liberties. And then he could use this agi on this group, but because he played the sequence at the bottom, and I could add 2 or 3 moves in a row. So really? Is there anything I'm missing here? I'm starting to doubt my own calculation. Okay, let's play that. I mean, anything can happen in this kind of game. You kind of misread something. Okay, I guess that's it.
White wins.
Okay. Um, I stop the recording now. We might do the review with John, but yeah, I never know how to switch everything to the review mode, so I'm gonna stop here. Hope you enjoyed it. It was difficult to do any live review because it was basically 100% calculation, so